They say every person carries a name, but some names are not written in ink, they're written in destiny. This is the tale of a girl the world called the poor farmer's daughter. Yet fate called her the queen of a kingdom. But how did a simple village girl become a queen? What was so special about her? And what secret did she carry that shook a royal throne? Let us take you back to the heart of Africa, where wisdom speaks louder than gold, the tale of the king and the girl with a hidden truth. Long ago, in a green and peaceful village, lived an old farmer named Omari. He had only one child, a daughter named Zuri. Zuri was not only beautiful, she was wise beyond her years. Villagers often whispered, "There's something in her eyes, something mysterious," as if she was not born of earth, but of the wind and stars. Far away in a grand kingdom, King Rashidi made an announcement. He would only marry a woman who could answer 3 difficult riddles. But if she failed, she would be banished from the land. Princesses from faraway lands came and went. None could answer. The riddles were just too hard. When Zuri heard of the king's challenge, she looked at her father and said, "I will go." Her father was afraid. "No, my child, that is not your place. The king's fury is dangerous." But Zuri gently smiled and replied, "When truth is the question, fear is not the answer." The next morning, Zuri entered the king's court. She wore plain clothes, walked with grace, and held courage in her eyes. The king looked at her with doubt. "A farmer's daughter? Do you really believe you can answer my riddles?" Zuri bowed and said calmly, "Ask, my king." The king took a deep breath and asked, "First question, what is the true treasure?" Zuri answered without hesitation, "True treasure is not what you lock in chests. It is what you give away, love and knowledge." The court grew quiet. The king nodded, then asked again, "Second question, what can never be seen, but is always felt?" Zuri smiled softly. "Respect. Eyes cannot see it, but the soul always feels it." Now the king's voice grew more serious. "Final question. Who is the true master of a king?" Zuri looked him in the eye and said, "The people, the same hands that lift a crown, can also bring it down." The entire palace fell silent. The king slowly rose from his throne and walked towards Zuri. He stared at her with awe and said, "You are not just a farmer's daughter. You are the soul of this kingdom. You shall be my queen, not because of your beauty, but because of your truth." Zuri became queen, but more than wearing a crown, she gave wisdom to the people. She brought change to the king and to the entire kingdom. Even today, the elders tell her story, the story of a girl who spoke truth without fear, who wore no gold, yet became royal. Never judge someone by their clothes or by their home, because sometimes inside the simplest soul lives the spirit of a legend.